Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations, where we generally look at one or another lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the Daily Office Lectionary. And today we begin a new epistle in the lectionary at morning prayer. Remember, we finished 2 Thessalonians yesterday, having then finished 1 Thessalonians before that. Now we move on to the epistle of St. James, right? This is not St. Paul writing to James. I once heard somebody introduce the epistle that way because we do have a letter from Paul to Timothy. But this is James himself, the apostle, writing this letter to the various communities of the church. So let's start right at the beginning, shall we? James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like the wave of a sea driven by the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted, but the rich in that he is made low, because as the flower of the grass he shall pass away. For the sun no sooner riseth on a burning heat, but it withereth the grass, and the flower thereof faileth, and the grace of the fashion of it perisheth. So also shall the rich man fade away in his ways. Okay, so first of all, when I first came back to the practice of faith, the Epistle of St. James just spoke to me. Common sense advice on how to live this new life in Jesus Christ. And he starts right off on acknowledging the fact that it's not always easy to be a Christian, that in time there are challenges and struggles, and yes, even diverse temptations, right? And so what is James' reaction? Isn't for us to just, oh my gosh, it's going to be terrible, we're going to be tempted. Rather, what he says is to count it all joy when you fall into these temptations. In other words, when all these temptations happen, we should count it joy. Well, that sounds like madness to me. But he says that the reason why is because it tries your faith. And that work is patience, right? Patience is a virtue. And I always joke about how for many years I've prayed, God, give me patience and give it to me now. And he's making me wait for the answer, right? That's how you learn patience, is by being patient. In the same way that you learn how to run by running, right? The more you run, the better you get at it. The same is true with patience. And that the trying of your faith, in other words, these temptations which try your faith, also then helps you to gain patience, right? So even when things are hard, we can count it joy because we know it is helping to build us up. And so he says, if it has perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing, right? What a great promise that is, that if we continue to be faithful, and if we are patient about it, enduring these sufferings, that in fact we are working towards perfection, right? But what does it mean about faith? It means we ask in faith without wavering, right? So in other words, we say we want faith, and I remember that one wonderful line in the scriptures in the New Testament where it says, Lord, I believe, help thou my unbelief. In other words, Lord, I have faith, but help me where I'm failing. Help me where I have doubts. Help me where I'm not coming up to the standard that you desire for me. And guess what? By his grace, he will help you to make progress in it. And it may take some time, right? There's an opportunity to learn patience. Today's Saturday. And so we are getting ready for worship tomorrow at St. John's for the 18th Sunday after Trinity. And so worship tomorrow, 7:30 morning prayer, 8 o'clock Holy Communion, 10 o'clock Holy Communion, and then 5:30 evening prayer with the opportunity to receive communion. And I do hope, God willing, to see you in church. And may God bless you.